What's the deal, my people? Teflon in the building, and it has happened. Finally, after 2 years of waiting, we have a Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer. And I'm not talking about a teaser, people. Not a teaser. I'm saying we got ourselves a trailer here. But after watching this trailer, I have one question for you. What's chasing, or who's chasing Arya Stark? The long night is over, and we finally have our first full-fledged trailer for Game of Thrones Season 8. But I'm going to do it a little bit different this time, my people. I'm going to focus on characters in the trailer. And in this episode, I'm going to focus on Arya Stark. And specifically, I'm going to focus on what's chasing Arya Stark. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Cha! Now, to make this a little bit easier to break down, what I did was put this in order in the way I think it will happen this season from these clips that we have gotten in dealing with Arya Stark's storyline. But what I think Game of Thrones is trying to tell us from this initial trailer is this. We have seen some shocking moments. Many shocking moments. Most likely the most shocking moments ever put on television in this series of Game of Thrones. But what I think they're trying to tell us is we ain't seen nothing yet. And I think they get that point across very well. Because Arya Stark, scared like this, the way she's being all cocky in the beginning, and that's the whole thing. When we hear the voiceover of Arya Stark, oh, she's hella cocky. Mad cocky, thinking that everything is gonna be sweet. And I'm gonna explain to you exactly how I think it's gonna go down. Now, this jumps off in Wintertown. That's what we're looking at right here. And we're going to see this kid. He is doing exactly what Bran Stark did in Season 1. And he is looking down at the Unsullied and Dany's army approaching. Which will then lead to the dragons approaching. Because I think that the dragons will get there way before Dany and Jon. I think we're going to see the dragons doing all their flying overhead. All that's going to be before Jon and Dany arrive at Winterfell. And that's how we see this shot right here with Sansa Stark. And Sansa has a hella role to play this season without a shadow of a doubt. But I want you to look at this shot right here with the dragon over her shoulder. Now, if she does not look like a queen, you are just a Sansa Stark hater. There's no doubt about it. Look at this shot. I ain't saying Sansa's riding a dragon or anything like that. Not at all. But I'm saying when it comes to looking like a queen with this dragon over her shoulder, you would think she was a Targaryen. You would think she was a queen. And that's for another video at another time, my people. But next we see Arya Stark, everybody else shitting their pants when they see the dragons fly overhead at Winterfell. And I do believe that this is at Winterfell, because I don't think we're going to see Arya Stark at Wintertown. I don't know what she would be doing at Wintertown. So I think this is Winterfell, and I think this is Arya Stark seeing the dragons for the first time. The same shot that we got in a little promo teaser, but now we have the full shot of it. Which will then lead to Jon and Dany arriving at Winterfell. And then from this is where we're going to get the shot where Sansa bends the knee to Dany. And then we're going to finally get our Jon Snow, Arya Stark reunion. And it's going to be great. I cannot wait to see it. I'm sure a lot of y'all can't wait to see it. It's probably the biggest reunion we're going to get in all the Game of Thrones. But after they have their reunion, this is when cocky Arya is going to take place. Because this is when Arya is going to get her dragon glass. And this is when I think Jon Snow is going to say these words.
They're coming. Our enemy doesn't tire. Doesn't stop. doesn't feel.
And that's when we're going to get the cocky Arya that we see in this trailer, because Jon Snow ain't seen what she can do, and you know she's going to want to show off to her big brother. You know she's going to want to do it because he ain't seen a skill set. So you know she's going to feel badass. She's going to be feeling like a badass. I mean, she did take out the phrase, so why wouldn't she? And that's when we're going to hear her say this line.
I know Death. He's got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
Cause she's thinking that after all that faceless man training, all that stuff she learned from the waif, everything that Jack and Hagar showed her, that she's ready. She's ready for this person that's coming, this so-called Night's King. But Arya ain't ready for what this guy's got, because you can't poison the Night's King. It ain't gonna be that easy. You ain't gonna be able to sneak up on him with a face. No, no, no. This is war, people. War. And war means death. Jaime Lannister will come to the north and pledge his sword to the cause. Then we will hear him say this line.
I promise to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
But is Jaime alone? That is the real question, because alone, I don't know how much of a help he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can get the job done anymore with one hand. So hopefully Edmund Tully is with him and he's brought some other Lannister troops, someone to help this man, because him by himself, to me, it ain't really going to make the odds swing in your favor, if you know what I'm saying. Jon will then have Gendry start forging weapons, armors, shields, everything. He's got to have this man work. I heard a rumor that it could be some stuff going on for the dragon. Could we also see a saddle being made for Bran so he could be on the back of a dragon? We shall see. In the next scene we get, it's Bran and Sam, and this could be them about to inform Jon, or talking about informing Jon about his parentage. But what I think happens is when you see this smoke hits, that means the White Walkers are on the way. So most likely that speech is going to get interrupted by the attack of the White Walkers. And then Jon Snow will tell all the women and anyone else who cannot fight to go hold it down in the crypts of Winterfell. This is what they did in the Battle of Blackwater with the Red Keep. And we see Varys, leader of the Dickless Men. And even though his two other Dickless brothers are out there fighting, we see this Dickless man chilling with all the women, just like a spider. Troops will rally to protect Winterfell. We can see the smoke coming out of their mouths right now, and we see Grey Worm getting his final kiss. And yes, people, this will be Grey Worm's final kiss. This is like a horror movie, and we know how those end for black people. Next, after we see the troops ready for battle, everybody lined up waiting for this war to finally start to take place, we see Sir Davos walking the battlements, and the Night's King army arrives. And this is when Arya is going to finally realize what she's up against. Because in the beginning, she's going to be effective with this pole, which seems like to be some Simeon Star Eyes type weapon with double dragon glass on both sides. And we see Brienne during the battle just doing work. Doing the work that Jaime Lannister can't do. But Brienne just lighting it up, and we know that this is the same battle because the next scene of Jaime Lannister, we could see it's got the same fiery red background going on. So Winterfell is definitely on fire. It's definitely burnt up, and it seems that Jaime Lannister is calling out Bronn. So is this the death of Bronn? I predicted that too many times to be wrong. We shall see what goes on. And after that, we get the Hound. Now, we seen the Hound shit the bed in the Battle of Blackwater, and it does seem like the Hound is about to shit the bed again. I hope he doesn't, but man, this dude doesn't seem like he can get past this fire. Hopefully he does. Next, we see Arya Stark doing work with her beautiful technique that she learned from Serial Pharrell and her water dancing, and we see she's using the spear with the dragon glass on both sides. Now it seems that she's doing a lot of work versus these whites, and that's what it seems like to me in the beginning, but then I looked at it closely, and if you do, you can see that there's blood flowing from whoever she's attacking. Now, I don't know if these whites have blood. I'm not sure. So unless there's some type of other undead creatures that has blood that she's fighting, but I don't know if they would show that right then. But if they're the whites that have blood, put it in the comment section and let me know. Where is this blood coming from? Or is she fighting regular human beings? Jon will then tell everybody to retreat to the crypts of Winterfell when the battle is just about lost. There's no doubt about it that that's what's going to happen, because I don't think they're going to stop the Night King in his first initial attack. That would be whack, that the first time the Night King attacks, the first time that they do battle, that they win. That's not going to happen. So he's going to tell them to retreat to the crypts, and then that's when we're going to get this scene with Arya Stark and what's chasing Arya Stark. Now, Arya's been chased before. We've seen this with the waif, right? But this is a different type of fear on her face. When we see her with the cuts on her forehead, when we see her running like this, it is straight desperation that we see in Arya Stark. Not that she wasn't desperate before, but this is a different level of desperation. And what I will say that we see here, what type of fear it is, it's that next level type of fear, because it can't just be fear of the White Walkers or the whites, because she was fighting them. We seen her upstairs with the bow staff fighting them all, right? She wasn't like the Hound cowering down. She was fighting, so she can't be afraid of them. It has to be something more severe than that. It just can't be a regular white or the White Walkers, because we see her running. And while she's running, she's holding a piece of dragon glass. Now, it doesn't just look like a handheld piece of dragon glass. It looks like one that was on top of that spear that she was using, and it looked like it broke off. So to me, it makes me think that whatever she was fighting at this time, that dragon glass had no effect on it whatsoever. We do not see needle at any time on her while she's running. So it seems like she has lost needle, and this dragon glass bow has not hurt this creature or whatever it is that's behind her. And we can see it right here peeking around the corner, whatever it is. Now it seems to be short, and as I said before, I think it's personal to Arya. I think it's something that has to be more than just a monster, because it seems like she's afraid of this thing too much for it just to be a regular white. Now, could it be somebody that it's changed into a white? I think that's a really good possibility. I hope it's not Sansa, because Sansa would fit the bill to make her this scared to run away from it, without a doubt. But it looks short to be Sansa, so I'm not going to say it's Sansa. It better not be Sansa. But who do you think it is? What is this thing chasing Arya? Is it an ice spider? Is it just a regular white? Is it a person that is just been turned into a white? You tell me in the comment section. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about Cersei Lannister, the Golden Company, and everything else going on down there. So please subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified when I drop that Game of Thrones video. Peace and stay sexy.